Hey everybody, welcome to the Cloaks of Mindhelm 5e D&D stream from Penny Dragon Games. I'm Ben, the DM as always, and I'm operating on not a lot of sleep, so apologies if I'm not as enthusiastic as I normally am. But plus side, mightn't be as annoying as I normally am if I'm not quite so enthusiastic. So thanks for joining us again. With the Cloaks are back fighting for their lives. The pluckiest City Watch, shall we say? Oh my god, too tired. Shall we say, in all the realms, stuck in a swamp, fighting for their lives against draconic mutants. One of our party members is currently making death saves where we left it last time, so it's gonna be it's gonna be an interesting one. But speaking of interesting D&D, on the Penny Dragon Games channel, we've got, as well as Cloaks, tons of other shows on the schedule, but next game, which would be Fellowship of the Fallen with DM Jean on Tuesday. There's no Fellowship of the Fallen this Tuesday, but they'll be back next Tuesday with more fun from the gang. No Vibrance this Thursday either. The Vibrance, I'm reading an old blurb. Vibrance is back this Thursday. So last time the party made their way to the greenhouse, where an encounter with some familiar looking creatures blocks the party's way to the supply of LeBlanc's green color. So if you've been following DM Mark's Vibrance campaign and all that rainbow magic goodness, then you can also catch the VOD of DM Mark's other campaign, the Violet Madness, where last time the gang had all been shrunk down and navigating through the human body. They fought blood cells, coughs, and kidney stones, but they're not in the clear yet, so we'll see what lies in store next. You can catch the VOD for the Sophron Saga on the Penny Dragon Twitch channel right now. That's DM Dave's game. So with the carved witch defeated, the party have made for Templetown, but not before the wizard set the place on fire, as wizards are wont to do, making a lifelong enemy of the little imp that was hoping to live out its days there. And back in town, the party immediately split up and someone got arrested. So it sounds like every D&D game I've ever been a part of. And finally, the Churn Gang with DM Richard have found out that the God Thief has been at it for a lot longer than anyone knew. So much so that the current gods, as the party knows them and the world knows them, actually stole their places from previous ones. So the Churn Gang of Humblewood have been trying to figure out this sort of cosmic level threat, and that will be back on Friday 2 weeks time, which is I'm just gonna check my calendar. That's Friday the 20th, I think, or Friday. Yeah, am I right? I might be wrong. I'm frequently wrong. And as always, you can catch VODs of all those shows and this one over on the Penny Dragon Games YouTube channel if you want to catch up and see what you've been missing. And without any further ado, all of the TV guide for the coming weeks out of the way, I'll just go around and we can introduce ourselves to the folks at home. So in no particular order, just who I've got on my Zoom here. Boyd, what about you?
Hey, what's up, folks? I'm Boyd, and I'll be playing Duro Stonehelm. So, let's see, he's a young, naive dwarf. He's only about 70. He gets uncontrollably agitated when he crawls through dungeons. He's a pugilist, which is a homebrew class by Benjamin Hoffman. It's like a strength-based monk, more focused on boxing than martial arts. He loves old tales of adventures and is obsessed with them like a nerdy teen loves Spider-Man. And yeah, he likes to throw hands and swear a lot.
Who doesn't? Next, the poor unfortunate person making death saves this evening, Fona.
So hi, I play Andy, who is currently a somewhat close to death young human rogue on work release from prison, working with the Cloaks, and has a couple of streams of ways of getting out of this if she can survive to try to get out of this. She will potentially backstab or buy her way out of this work release she's on. But yeah, that's Andy.
That is Andy, indeed. Oh, it's hard times ahead, one way or another, for Andy. And who have I got next? Can't find my Zoom now. Aha, Kyle.
So I'm playing Transcribe, more commonly known as Pouches, the resident wizard / slight pyromaniac that seems to just be aggravating as the campaign goes on. Yeah. Like, I really kind of swore I wouldn't lead into like the pyromania tendency going into this campaign. That did not last long.
No, as we all know, wizard and pyromaniac are just synonymous terms there.
It's like peanut butter and jam. It just goes.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
exactly.
A little bit of a troublemaker within the streets of Minehelm. Although surprisingly, one of the only members of the party that hasn't been arrested and forced to serve the Cloaks. He instead chose this.
Yeah, one of the only remaining ones here by choice. Yeah, which is remarkable. Okay.
A little bit of a troublemaker within the party. He loves to mess with people, and yeah, he loves magic more than most things in the world.
Yeah. Next up, okay, we've got Nico. Is Nico frozen for anyone else? Either that or she's practicing her ninja focus. She's incredibly still.
Total ninja focus.
Well... Oh. I'm going to give Nico a second there because... Oh, she's muted.
I'm here. Sorry, I think my internet just cut out because the web browser, Zoom, everything just restarted. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Anyway, sorry about that.
It's all good. It's been one of those days, folks.
Yeah, sorry. That probably shifted the stream around.
Okay, but can you tell us who you're going to be playing?
All right. Hi, I'm Nico. I'm playing Patri. He is an elf, alchemist, artificer with a penchant for getting into trouble, and after a few too many experiments gone very, very wrong in his guild, he was banished to go work with the Brown Cloaks to do his time before being allowed back into the guild. But he's pretty thrilled because he thinks he can get his hands on all sorts of good stuff in the underground with these kind of people. So we'll see where that leads.
It's going to lead to all sorts of horrible places, knowing, how things have normally been going. And actually, just right on time. We've been having issues with our Zoom and all kinds of things, but just in time, we have our last party member who, just in the nick of time, just like a cleric, it's always there, right, just when you need them, is Tendai.
Hi, I'm Tendai. I'll be playing Sana, who is still trying to not appear too weird to newfound friends, hopefully. And it's just
story of my life.
Go along, right? Then the topic just go with the flow for the time being.
Awesome. Yeah, that's all good. So, I think then, without any further ado, we'll drop ourselves. But I almost dropped you onto the next map. No spoilers. So I think we better also switch over the music because we were in the middle of a fight. So, yeah. And as you can see from our initiative order is still up. But I'm just going to briefly recap, both for people at home and also because T wasn't with us last session. So basically, the party, the Cloaks, have been on the trail of some brigands, rather well-organized and armed brigands calling themselves the Fearless Fellows. They were sort of terrorizing an encampment, a sort of refugee camp outside the city walls. They were hassling people for protection money, also sort of strong-arming and threatening people into joining them. It's something of like a mercenary kind of outlaw band. So the party, being Cloaks, City Watch, they went to investigate, and eventually they learned that they're hiding out in these ruins in a swamp. And along the way, they met Thana, their new party member. And yeah, they've come to the edge of these ruins. There, they found a dying man who was part of the Fearless Fellows. He had stolen from them, and the leader, who he called Belloc, or Belloc the Deathless, had sent him just, well, okay, if you can get out of the swamp with the money, then more power to you. The money's yours. But of course, he didn't make it out of the swamp. Something got him in the water, and he was dying of very severe poison. And despite all that, he gave them a little bit of information about the brigands. And when he died, Jorel said a little prayer, and very Aretha of him. And Thana, being a death cleric, performed the sort of the little ritual of her own, and it was rather somber, but you managed to pull this boat across, and as Jorel, Andy, and Pouches made their way across, and Watson's over on the other side, the boat got rocked, and something invisible in the water capsized them, but they swam to shore, and they encountered these two sort of beasties over here. This little guy bit Andy, and she became paralyzed, and she got quite a lot of damage, and she's down, making death saves. While over here in the water, Patri and Thana, they are slowly making their way across. The water's about 20. Yeah, the water's about 20 feet deep, but where you can see the bits of ruins are traversable. There's maybe a foot of water, maybe 2 foot in places. So it's difficult terrain, but you can make your way across. That's having been at the other side of the water. That's what they did, and now we are currently in combat, and I think so. We ended on Andy's death saves, which for people at home, in this campaign, we're going with a sort of variant homebrew rule of death saves being, well, in our case, whispered to the DM. So neither the party members or you at home know how close or far from death Andy is right now. Only Andy and I know that. So that was Andy made the death save, and let me just pull up one thing here.
Did she make the death save, or just make the death save?
She rolled a death save. I should have said. Yeah, that was misleading language. I realized. She okay. I just want to see what is these things. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So it's actually going to be Thana up next on the initiative. So you've got all your movement now. This this area is difficult terrain, the ruins, but so it's going to be half movement going across, but it's pretty stable. You don't need a sorry about that, I just got a message. You don't need to make a check or anything to traverse it. It's not that dangerous. It's just it's kind of slow going. So I don't think I used any of your spells or anything, so you should have all your spell slots and stuff.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, awesome.
So Thana is going to make their way to Andy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I'm going to try and cast Healing Word.
Yeah. Obviously, you could also you just to clarify, you can also just swim if you wanted to,
Mhm.
but obviously there's something in the water and nobody's quite sure where
what
it
it
is
is.
right now. And
Yeah.
and where it is, it seems to be they couldn't see anything. It was the water was just kind of roiling and like sort of cresting as something was sort of seemingly moving through it, almost like the water itself was moving.
Yeah, I think just for safety's sake, I will stick to the stones and make my way as close as possible to Andy.
Yeah, so that's 10. Yeah. Yeah. It's all good. And yeah, she should be in range of healing word, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. So I would say normally the caster would roll the healing, but I don't know if anyone else has strong feelings about that, whether the person being healed wants to roll the healing or whether the caster does. I'd normally say the caster, but
Caster. Makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, actually, do you know what? Especially because roll 20, it'll do it automatically.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Sweet. Oh, nice. So, Andy, you're sort of drifting in that darkness, and there's like a very faint connection to your body. You still can kind of feel like your muscles from a distance, but it's very numb. And then all of a sudden there is this rush of that comes back to you. And I need to check something actually, because when did you get bit? That's fine. Yeah, the paralysis has worn off because it was till the end of your next turn and you just had your turn. So all of that feeling, you feel it come back to your muscles and breath fills your lungs. And then as you sit, up, you're on top of the wall. You can see just in the distance, Thana has a hand raised and is just finished casting a spell. You see her lowering her arcane, her holy symbol. That's movement.
Okay.
Yeah. So movement and bonus.
This music is so intense.
Yeah. Thana doing anything else?
No, just keep trying to make my way closer so I can start attacking.
Cool. So yeah, you can. Okay, yeah. So if you use your action to dash, you can move another 3 squares.
So
yeah.
that's all I'll do.
I assume I come back with like 1 hit point.
No, you come back with 6.
Oh, 6. Cool.
Yeah, you just get whatever the healing. At least
I'm
as long as you get.
invincible.
Well, yeah. Well, let's. Yeah, sure. Because it is now this big boy's turn, and he looks very like his picture there, but his scales are more. His scales are actually they're mostly black dragon scales, but there is some green in there, or they almost seem to like Doral, as you're up closer, when it kind of catches what little light there is in the swamp, they do sort of have a bit of like a green shimmer. Like if you see like a fly, like a blue bottle, or something, it's like sometimes it has that kind of green or bluey sheen over it. So
Iridescence, is that it?
That is, I believe, exactly what it is. So now I'll remind myself. Has he used that? I just need to test. I think he's gonna. Where is my template? Sorry, gang. I'm just looking for something. Where did it go?
Someone has to. Bless you, Kyle.
Sorry, guys.
I thought I was on mute for that.
No, I'm busy trying to kill you also, I can't be, wishing you well. wishing you good health.
Sorry
I
to everyone
don't-
watching hearing me sneeze like that.
Yeah.
Just getting over the flu.
1, 2,
Yay.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Ooh, let me see. I just got to draw a line. Oh, come on.
And the DM
Think-
starts thinking, and you're in the way.
Yeah, I need to figure it out. Like I got these they were good. Like I got these spell templates for someone, but I need to size them properly. You know, I need to make sure they work out with the grid. I thought they were going to be really handy, but yeah, it's kind of they're not even dropping on the. Oh, they are. Yeah, I don't know. I have to test it out and see what size they're supposed to be, but I keep forgetting. But yeah, I think it's not gonna catch enough people, so I think he's just gonna attack you, Doral. You saw him kind of gearing up to do something, but he didn't. He's gonna go swing his club and his claw at you. That is 9. So a 15 to hit on the club.
Oh, I'm actually. Yes, I've been waiting so long for this to happen. I'm going to spend my reaction using one of my cantrips. What is it?
Yeah. Homebrew cantrip that I gave Doral, is it?
Yeah. It's not mold earth.
I think it's called Earth
Yes,
and Ward.
I'm gonna manipulate the earth in front of myself and pull my fist up in an uppercut motion at the same time, and a slab of rock intercedes in between us.
Yeah, and it cracks. Yeah, it's a little. What is it? Plus 1 AC.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. My AC is 15, so that makes it a miss.
Yeah, +1 to AC or a Dex
+1.
roll on react. Yeah, but you have to be in contact with like earth or clay, some kind of earthen
Yeah, that's
like,
a good
material.
point.
Yeah.
Is this earth? Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're on like stone, so it's in the ruins. Yeah, I mean even underneath it would be mud, so like mud would fling up. Just means you can't do it, you know, if you're not in contact with earth. Yeah, so it's something that cracks. It looks like really confused, and it like rages, and it swings its claw, which is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, but the thought is, let me see. Oh, wrong die. Okay, not too bad. So 6 slashing damage
Okay.
and 2 poison damage.
Oh, which I'm resistant.
Which you're resistant to,
One.
yeah.
Just
Yeah,
set-
so yeah, this you could feel the like it's going for you. You can feel it's really swinging that club. So you're like, no, you know a big hook when it's coming. So you throw it up, it cracks, and then it goes for the claw, but it's caught off guard. So it digs in, but it kind of, you know, you shake it off as best you can, as best you know how. And that means I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna. Like 5.
I'm so sorry. I have no idea what's happening.
So good. It's just kind of like moving back and forth. And then that means that thing's turn is up, and it's this little dude. He's seen Andy just come back to life, and it's not really sure. You know, it's a fairly it might have some understanding of magic. Whether or not it does, wouldn't necessarily understand, but it just saw Andy get back up, so it's actually gonna try and skitter around. And just want to see, did I give it?
I've lost the turn order.
Is it-
Does
is the turn
everyone
order
else have
gone?
turn order, or is it just me? I think it's just me.
Is it?
Still see it. I'm gonna refresh.
So this thing climbs 5, 10 over the wall. 15. It's resizing itself. 20. Yeah, this thing comes over to you, Pouches. This little kind of draconic mutant with these big, almost serpentine-looking fangs, like, and it's gonna try to bite you. Oh, God damn! But it gets a 7 to hit. Pouches is the luckiest wizard in the world.
Pouches is the luckiest wizard. He's the luckiest wizard in all the land.
Yeah, so it just like it goes to like bite your ankle, but you know, you like manage to like lift your leg up and it kind of, you're in thickets and it whips a branch up into its face and it kind of snaps it back. Which means then it is now Pouch's turn. He's right after it.
Let's see. I'm going to attempt to catapult at it. I'm going to point at a piece of this wall and just fling it into it.
Yeah, there's plenty of rubble around here.
10 points of damage and needs to make a dexterity save.
Yeah. Okay, it rolled. Oh yeah, it rolled a 23. It's not
not half damage.
It's just not. So, you know, you kind of put your hand out and it just hears the crack of something like whizzing at it, and it just like fucking curls up into a little ball and kind of, you know, scurries out of the way. You see it moving. It's like just absolute lightning fast. So you've both kind of both been, you know, missing each other. Then it is Patrice's turn, who is over here on the kind of over by the runes. Yeah, so tree.
I have to follow the line of the ruins, right? To walk. To use
it's you could go into the water, and it's like you don't have a swimming speed, so it would be the same. You'd be moving at the same rate, but obviously you don't know what's in the water. So it's up to you. You could cut straight across.
Okay.
Also, Watson's just over here by Andy. I think he's. Yeah. I don't know if he's if he's up in the air at all, or if he's like at Andy's level. Can't remember.
He was hurt, wasn't he? I remember him last time, or did we?
Yeah. No, he was hurt. He had like 2 hit points left.
Yeah, that's why
he damage, I think.
Okay. Well, I'm going to just. That was my plan because he'll probably attack him. Oh my goodness, that was not a good plan. Sorry, guys, I did have a plan.
It's okay.
I'm going to just here. 5. This is really hard on just one screen.
I know.
And then the key is remembering. There we go. Is that right? I'm gonna dash again.
Well, I think you'd have to.
20.
You'd have to use your dash to get that far because you're moving at half speed.
Oh, am I already?
Through the water. Yeah.
Okay. Was I good?
Yeah, thereabouts.
Swimming.
Yeah,
Swimming,
I know.
Keep swimming.
I thought I had something with a longer. 60 feet. There we go. Can I get within 60
Just remember,
feet?
we knew there was something nasty in that water, and the fact that you're going for a swim.
No.
There's nothing in the water though. It's cool.
So
it's
I can't do
fine.
anything. I use my dash to get to where I am. Then I guess, right?
Unless you got something that would only take a bonus action.
Yeah. So, but I'll use Watson to attack.
You got to use your bonus action to command Watson, right? Yeah.
Yeah. 30-foot range. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this on the big dude by Doral or the little dude by Pouches?
It's on this. Get off the screen. Get off the screen. This guy here.
Big dude. Oh yeah, that's good.
No, you know what? He'll get this guy. This guy's closer. This guy's closer to us.
Okay,
Let's
cool.
go for.
Yeah, go for it. And damage is what is it? It's
I just click on for 3.
hey, every little helps. Yeah, this thing is like has missed Pouches. You know, like pulls a piece of rock. It comes flying towards the back of his head, and it like scurries and skits halfway up the tree, and then just this its head as soon as it like lands on the tree, and then Watson's gives his little wing guns at it. So if that was Pajit, is Watson gonna move? Or-
Yeah, he's gonna come closer to me.
Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's whatever his. Obviously, he's not impeded.
And high, he's
by
like 5 feet.
as much as he wants. Cool.
Yeah.
So then we're on to Doral. It's got this dude breathing down your neck.
Yeah.
No one, as far as I'm aware, well, unless I messed up in my notes, because the little guy has taken damage, like a bit. He's taken a few hits. I don't. No one has damaged this guy.
Okay. I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll spend my action to take a swing at this guy. So let's see. I think first of all, I'm gonna spend my bonus action to brace up. So he's just gonna try and shake off the past hit he just got, and I'm gonna gain some temporary hit points. And then I will spend my action to try and hit him with an unarmed strike. Let's see.
Okay.
Ooh, not today. Swing and a miss.
Yeah.
That's my turn.
Yeah. You kind of go in, and it's like he's a little bit more kind of agile than he would appear. This kind of lumbering, because he looks quite lopsided. I mean, this guy definitely favors his right hand, because his right arm is like fucking huge. It's real Resident Evil vibes. If anyone's seen this. Biomes have always got one arm that's way bigger with like a massive claw. But he's a little bit, and then after kind of missing that, as you say, brace up and try and shake it off, because this could be, you could be in for a few rounds with this guy. So, Andy, you have 6 hit points, which is 6 more than you had last turn.
6 whole hit points. I'm invincible.
Well, your oyster.
So last time, just before I made it to shore, I threw, when I had been dumped into the water, I threw Ember onto the boat and then swam to shore. And climbed on the wall. Where is Ember at the moment?
Well, I would say you can give me a perception check with disadvantage if you want. Like, if you don't want to spend your action to like make a proper check. It's going to be hard, but there's a chance if you whip your head around, it's going to be a hard DC and you'll have disadvantage. But there's always a chance you might spot him.
Where's my Ember? 6.
You think he's like, you think you see something, but it is just a sort of a rusty colored shrub, and it's like, oh no, that's not my cat. You can't see him.
Yeah, I think the entirety of Andy's go is she has rolled off this wall, this way, and she has gone this direction in the attempt to find Ember, because everybody else can screw themselves. So I think she's gonna finish her go there, still seeking Ember.
Well, if you really want to, if you can spend your action making like a perception check, then if you want.
Oh, that's totally what she's doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then make it just
looking for Ember.
Just a straight perception check.
Why did that go? Oh wait, hang on. I'm running to. Hang on.
Do the toggle it off and just roll.
Sorry.
Straight percentage. A percentage.
Perception. There we go.
Okay.
24. Wow. Okay. Score, not 20.
Yeah. You look, and Ember has not moved from the boat. Underneath the seat, Ember has like rather expertly hidden himself, and he like. You can see as you're approaching, he's gone very still, and then you peek over in the boat, and he is he's looking back at you, and he's, he climbs out and he's up on your shoulder.
And I just got a D4 healing from chat, so I'm going to roll that now for myself. So I have reunited with my beloved Ember and managed to get 3 extra hit points. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's all looking up, Andy.
It pays to be a cat person.
Yeah. So
certainly on the internet, anyway, it does.
There we go. There I am,
yeah.
9 hit points and Ember back on my shoulder, and that is Andy's turn.
Nice. So, just before Thana, let me see. Where is my? Oh, damn. 17. Where is the thing? Okay, so that is a something. Does a 23 hit you, Thana?
Definitely will hit me.
Okay. From just the water right in front of you, which was like murky but kind of still and stagnant, it just suddenly like animates, and the water whips out and wraps around your throat and just starts dragging you down. It pulls you in 5 feet closer. It's still in like very shallow water, but you're pulled, face down basically. Okay, and then you take you take 15 points of bludgeoning damage as the water, you can it's almost like a whip of water. You can see inside it bubbles are sort of roiling, and it's tightening around your throat, and you're grappled, and while you're grappled, you're restrained, and then your head is just plunged under the water as the swamp itself, it seems, is trying to drown you. So Thana's turn is up next. It's a DC 13 to escape the grapple, which you can make an athletics or an acrobatics check, whichever one you want. And you're restrained, so apart from that, it's really all Thana can do with her action.
Okay.
But you will be able to move. Obviously, if you break free, you'll be able to move.
So I'm going to try and get out of that with an acrobatics.
Go for it.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. It's like when you hit the water, it's almost like with the momentum, instead of most people would sort of pull back, but I think growing up the way that Thana did, Thana's a real survivor, so they just dives, follows through and goes down, follows with the motion into the water, and then you pop back up. You kind of go through it. You sort of break on through to the other side, and you escape the grapple. And you're free to move. If you, it would be half movement. Well, you could get to here.
Yeah.
Realistically, because this is kind of not quite difficult terrain.
Okay, so quick question. When I went into the water, did I see anything?
You did not see anything. Now, obviously, it's very disorienting.
Murky
but you didn't see anything. It looked like even just the water itself, turned into a little tendril and whipped. It looked like the water was attacking you.
Okay, so I'm going to move to the shore.
Yeah. So You would still have your bonus action then if there's anything you would care to do with it at this turn, but otherwise that would be it for Thana.
Actually, I'm going to.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry.
Take time.
No, I'm going to hold on to that for now.
Sure thing. Which that means then it is. Oh, where's my thing being slow? Sorry, it's the big un again. He can hear splashing right from this direction, and he is gonna. Yeah, he moves 5, 10. He kind of circles a bit, and he goes for another 2 on Doro. Ooh, okay. That's going to be a miss on the great club. But it is a crit on the claw. So, where is his stat block? Just bear with me 1 second.
Just saying. Just saying.
Just saying?
Just my measurement, Not for you.
I was
for
not
Thana.
looking.
Ben rolled the crit, but just saying.
Oh, yes. Grave clerics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the. Well, yeah, you can use that. It's up to you. There may be more crits in the session that you want to negate with that.
I don't think
channel
I
divinity?
don't think it's a limited one. Is it? It's
Is
not
it
a channel divinity.
Oh,
No,
is
it's
it not?
It's just a reaction that the grave cleric gets, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, goddamn.
It is indeed.
Goddamn.
Yeah, so I'm going to see this and react.
Nice. So yeah, it's like you see like a flash in this thing. Like it's like you can see it like going for your throat. Everything really slows down in that kind of, oh shit, I'm about to die, life flashing before my eyes, like it's gonna rake across your throat. And then it just seems to sort of imperceptibly kind of like, even though it had a clean hit and your fist, your guard wasn't up, it just for some reason like starts turning downwards to rake across your chest. And it's like out of the corner of your eye, you can see Thana is like holding up. I don't know what Thana's holy symbol would look like or what she uses to cast.
It'll probably look like some skull and bones.
I was just imagining like roadkill, just like a possum.
just
like holding it up by the tail.
She's just holding up a little marionette of what's her name from UC's in a Critical Role.
She's
holding up a little marionette of the mouse.
The bones, and she's kind of like casting something, and it rakes across your chest, and you do take 9 slashing and 5 poison, but you would have taken a lot more.
9 slashing, 5 poison. I'm resistant.
5 poison. So
does it go to 3 or 2?
It goes to 2. It's rounded down.
Okay, so 9 plus 2 is a total of 11.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am gonna spend my reaction because I've had my turn in between now and then, haven't I? Yeah. I'm gonna spend my reaction and do bloodied but unbowed and gain some temporary hit points and some moxie points back.
Nice.
And I'm gonna say to him, "Do I look like I'm done to you yet?"
I didn't hear no bell. Nice. It's the little dude, and he is gonna try and munch on pouches again. That is a. Actually, let me just double check his bonus. Yeah, that's an 18 to hit pouches.
Yeah, I'm not that. I don't know why you need to check the bonus.
Yeah, but I don't know. It might be whether I don't know whether it's in shield range if you want to. But I don't know if you're going to burn the spell slot. I have to. It's a consideration on every attack against the wizard.
It just is out of like if I burn a shield, I'm tied with it. So it
yeah, well, that's why I was checking to see because if it was like a 4, but yeah, he has a +5. Um, so yeah, it's going to be a hit then.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
My first hit of the combat. That's a first.
So that is 5 points of piercing damage and 4 points of poison damage. And if you could give me a DC 12 con save, please.
11.
Oh, okay. Pouches again. You feel yourself, this venom like start pumping through your veins. You can feel it, and it's like it starts at your toes, and you feel it rushing through your legs, and then you're like, oh, okay, it seems to be passing. But you realize what it is as it got closer to your throat. It wasn't just the venom that you stopped feeling. You stopped feeling anything, and your muscles seize up, and Pouches is paralyzed until the end of your next turn. But your turn is up next, so but it is going to I think move away. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and it actually moves up to Doral. And yeah, this thing is has moved away, and Pouches, your turn comes around.
And I
The end
stand
of
there
your
like,
turn. Yeah, because it was like it was gonna get away anyway.
I have a dagger. I can stab things. Maybe. Possibly.
Actually, no, would it go?
I've been around Andy long enough.
Are you
Yeah.
holding it at the ready the whole time? So you've
You
got
have
a
to
focus on
learn.
the dagger?
You have to have learned some stabbiness at this
Yeah.
point.
But yeah, so it bit Pouch. Pouch got paralyzed. It ran. Pouch's turn came around. End of his turn, he unparalyzed, but that was his turn, which brings us to Patri.
So, at what point does my half cover, not half cover, sorry, the half speed end? Is it when I'm the water?
Like,
Or?
yeah, pretty much like. Let me just really quickly, like. Yeah, more or less when you get to like. Oh, I'm not trying to do a goddamn square. I'm trying to do.
I can't get close enough to. Okay, that's okay. I'm gonna I'll do Ray of Sickness because I'm within 60 feet, right? I can see.
This guy now. They would have like.
Well, are you casting it from you, or are you casting it from Watson?
For me, it's 60, so I could move like.
Yeah,
5.
this
Or
is like these walls on the surface are about 5 foot high, so you're at water level. And now the big guy is quite tall, so he would have maybe like half cover, so he'll get like a slight bonus to AC. You can't see the little guy, but the big guy at that angle is because the little guy is smaller than the wall. Anyway, he's like 3-4 foot tall.
You know what, I'm gonna say, just go, Watson, go. Poor guy over there is all alone. So Watson will dash, so he's got a 30-foot fly speed, I think. So he'll and he'll go. Does that give advantage here?
I don't think we. I think we had said at the start of the campaign we weren't going to do flanking in this game just because we'd settled on that at the beginning. So unfortunately, we don't get flanking. But he is. Oh, okay, yeah. Inflict wounds. Nice.
So then I'm gonna use my reaction, and bonus.
Sweet.
For Watson to be touchy.
Nice. Cool. I mean, you could. Yeah. You could still swim. Like
how many block? 3.
3 with Patri, and then so this guy. Yeah, and just so that's a hit on the little dude.
Okay, and what level are we? Level 6. I can do this at level what? level. Oh, I just have level 1s.
Yeah, I think this is the.
Back and forth between Hobor, who's just like so.
Pretty good rolls though.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That
It's more
is.
than I've had in a while.
Yeah. So again, Watson, like, you're like, swimming. You're like, just go, Watson, just go. I'll catch up. And Watson, like, again, takes off. His little wings kind of tuck in behind him, and he zips forward, and just like kind of spins above this guy. And as you do the inflict wounds, the liquid inside him turns to this black ichor, and it just falls down like a little spear on top of this thing's head. And then Doral, you didn't even fucking see this thing behind you. You just hear this howl, this like this hissing howl, and you like briefly look around, and there is a hole being just like melted and rotted in this thing's skull. And it's like, and you see bits of brain like start to mush, and its whole head just rots off, and a headless corpse collapses to the ground, as that did one more point of damage than its max HP.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it just, Watson just fucking bodied this thing.
Watson!
Inflict wounds, man. Which then means, Doral, it is your turn, and that was really weird.
I was gonna say that's so much better than like what did I roll? Like 3 last time? 3 damage, 2, 1 negative.
Yeah, he'd taken 19 damage, and he had 8 hit points, like was his max. So yeah. Doral, sorry.
I look at the monster in front of me and I say, "It looks like your pals left the party. I told you I'm not done." And I'm gonna use my bonus action to dig deep, and I'm gonna gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage for 1 minute.
Sweet.
And I'm gonna take the dodge action.
It's a good strategy.
That
Can't
is
fault
my
it.
turn.
Andy, it's your turn.
So Andy is going to, now that she's retrieved Ember, it's gonna run back and jump back onto this wall. She's gonna she's gonna take a look at the situation and ready a bow arrow, and then shout to Pouches that Jurl, there's a big dude fighting Jurl. And she's gonna ready her action of an arrow, but not actually shoot it yet.
Okay.
And that's Andy's turn.
Yeah, she's ready. What? She's readying the arrow. What's the trigger that will set it off?
Potentially, if the big dude comes towards her.
As soon as he moves closer to.
Yeah, there's also a potential chance that so essentially she's a bit torn at the moment. Like if this dude manages to, or if that big monster guy smashes Durl, then Durl will be dead. So
technically this is true.
She's a bit torn about that. So I think in this moment, Durl is like retreating a bit from the guy. So she's readied an arrow and she's not going to shoot it straight away. But I suppose if the big monster moves towards her, and in fairness, if he moves towards Durl to actually hit at Durl, she will loose the arrow. But she's a bit torn about taking the direct action, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
So she's not directly attacking, but the action is readied. And I think, in fairness, if the monster takes a swing at Durl, she will actually then do her attack. So, should the guy lumber off, she won't have actually shot the arrow at him.
But
if it moves towards Durl to actually strike Durl, she will actually attack it.
Okay. So that's Andy's turn. Cool. And Sana, as you were like wading out of the water, and you saw this going on, and you were casting spell, and you keep wading, and you feel the water like surging behind you, and you hear this like, this like as if something's being sucked out of the swamp, and so you like sidestep, and this thing just whiffs on another attack, like something goes and just back into the water, like it was trying to grab you back, but it rolled a 2. A 2 plus, but plus whatever, but it's not going to hit. So that is, bear with me 1 second. You still can't see this thing. Okay. But it is now Thana's turn.
Awesome. So first thing I'm going to do is get more inland than that.
Sure.
To avoid whatever this thing is.
Yeah.
And then I want to go for the big guy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cast Ray of Enfeeblement.
Mm-hmm. Second. Note of one small thing. Sorry, Raven Fieldman. Yeah. Oh, sorry, it's a save. I always thought it was a attack roll because. Oh no, you do make an attack roll.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So on the big dude, yeah, he's you've like Doral's swung at him enough to know his AC is 14, so a 14 will hit him with the attack roll.
Okay, so with Male Enfeeblement, there's not much I can do after that. So.
Yeah. Well, I think you'll have to make you have to make an attack roll, like a spell attack against him. Make an attack roll, and then if that hits, he's enfeebled, and then and then I do the saves on subsequent turns. Okay. What did it roll? I'm missing it. I don't know. Is it rolling, or I'm not seeing the spell attack come up on the thing.
It should be rolling.
Is it just not showing up on mine? Is anyone else seeing an attack roll come up for Raven Feeblement?
No, I haven't.
Weird. What's your? Hang on, let me check your spell attack bonus.
Yeah, no, it's not coming up for me either.
Weird. Okay. Well, what's your? Okay, +5. If you just you can just do roll a d20 +5 if you on this maybe do the same thing. But I'm going to assume I'm just going to take the very first one of those d20s, so which was a nat 20. My God, there's.
Hold on, I'm just gonna refresh because I don't know what's going on.
It did, yeah. I think it did 5 d20s instead of a d20 +5.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take that as just it was a hit. So because it was the first one, it was the leftmost one. So he is then so you so he's only doing half damage with his weapon attacks, which is very well timed. So you moved a bit already, right? And
yeah, I did.
You did that. Sweet. So Thana pulls out, spellcasting materials, and then their fingers curl up, and then point out one finger straight at this big draconic mutant, and this sickly green ray just fires out like a beam, and then it just sinks into his flesh, and you can see it like rippling in waves just all over his body, and his muscles like kind of twitch and like, you know, convulse, almost like they've been hit pressure points or something. And Doral, you notice this ray hits him, and he kind of just like slumps ever so slightly, like, you know, he's almost become lethargic. And then he takes 2 swings at you. Or, No, I think, having seen that, because he is incapacitated. Let me just double check something here. Center this guy. Yeah. Well, you're all right, Pouches. But Dora, Andy, and Thana, will you give me a dexterity save?
Okay.
Bringing the
Nat
fire there,
20,
Doral.
nice.
Oh, great rolls. Well, he didn't roll great anyway, so
What's that?
I think everyone's safe there from you, Ben.
motherfuckers, every single one of you. Well, you all take so
Love
as
you
this,
too.
We're all
yeah,
terribly nimble.
as this thing.
Dodge actions help. They give
Yeah.
you advantage on dexterity
Yeah,
saving
yeah.
throws, folks.
Yeah, he moves around, and he's kind of slumped, and he's just like, at first you think it's like, it's like, did like Thana hit him with like some kind of like ray of sickness? You're like, I've heard of that in my adventure books, you know, because he's like, he starts retching, and it's, you see his chest like swells grotesquely, and then it's almost like a wave, like, and then you see his throat bulge, and it just his jaw opens wide, unhinging, and acid spews forth in that 30-foot cone. It just retches all over you, but you manage to, like most of you fucking dodge out of because he was so telegraphed. You dodge out of the way and just get the splash back, but you all do take 6 points of acid damage. You would have taken 12 on.
The 3 of them? Or?
Failed, yeah. Not a great roll for 4d6, but yeah.
Even on a save, we take 6.
Yeah, half on a. Oh shit!
No, I'm still going.
Oh,
It's
thank
still-
you, chat, for that D4 healing on.
Yes, thank you,
Andy.
chat, very much. Twice for getting me past that. So I've rolled behind the wall. So
Yeah, hang on.
myself an ember.
Yeah, Ember's not missing any fur. It's fine. You know.
Ember is seriously thinking today would have been a day to stay in my bunk in the camp
I think so.
and not have come on this adventure.
Exactly. So that was him. Yeah, he's feeling that. And then is it at the end of each of its turns? Okay, I'm gonna make con save for him. That is okay against 13. I think he will make it. Yeah, that is 11 plus 5. That he got a 16, so the Ray of Enfeeblement wears off. But I mean, technically, still he went for that acid spray or the acid retch because his melee attacks were weakened, and so it did still. It still Ray of Enfeeblement did its job, and it saved Doral from a round of fairly brutal melee attacks. So that's him, and we're on to Pouches.
Ooh, goody, my turn to cause some havoc. I'm gonna move up to this gap
Yeah.
and I think it's time to unleash a little fire again.
I disagree.
Or maybe
17?
Is a hit.
27? That's a crit.
Doesn't hit. Yeah, go on.
And 19.
That is a hit. So, yeah. Did you roll double dice for the...
Crit, yeah. 14
Okay.
and 14, 28 points of fire damage.
Okay. 28 points of fire damage is remarkably the first damage he has taken. But it
He's
is
gonna
a
run around
good-
that corner and Kamehameha like...
Yeah, this is a good opening salvo. Pouches just like pops out. He hasn't seen Pouches, and just all at once, there's so much force behind it. And I think after being paralyzed, you're just like so like happy to be free. I was like, oh shit, I was like locked out of my body. I'm gonna like go full force. That technically like a fourth ray basically comes out, 4 bolts of fire, and they slam into him. Doral, you get that smell of burnt flesh, and you see scales flake off like sort of little bits of ash. There's this sort of mossy smelling smoke coming off of this swamp mutant, as Pouches just starts peppering him with scorching rays.
And I'm just gonna be like, Dural, hurry up and kill him already. Seriously, I've killed 2 already.
See, my pals like the party, and they're staying.
And I'm just gonna duck back behind the wall.
Are you trying to Legolas and Gimli Doral
Yes.
right now?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
We both know he's
Okay.
very far behind though. Like since the bandit
Yeah.
camp even.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he did beat a half ogre in a boxing match. We've got to give him some points for that. So, Patri, it's your turn.
I go 1, 2, 3. Am I in line of sight of him?
You are.
So now I can do my spell, right?
You can indeed.
Oh, I can just click on all the wrong things instead. That's cool too. Okay.
Ooh. Yeah.
24 hit.
Sweet.
Oops.
So that is what, 2d8 poison damage?
Um, 11 poison damage.
Okay. So Patri, you like mixing, you pull out tubes and vials and it's like mixing them, and this little powder, like you put a little bit of this green powder, you pour a little liquid into it, and it like starts to foam, and you keep pouring it back and forth until it really bubbles up, and then just coalesces into this sort of bubbling beam, and it shoots out towards this guy. It almost looks like puke. This ray of sickness, acid, and it slams into him. It slams actually right into one of the scorch wounds from the fire, and it just disappears, into him. It completely runs off, and it doesn't even flinch. It seems to have done nothing to it.
Oh, great.
It is
That's
immune to
great.
poison damage,
Right.
unfortunately.
She's so far.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
I'm looking at it again. The Petrie's like, I can't see. I feel like his scars would have glowed the same color as the putrid spew.
Yeah. I like that as he's casting.
Yeah,
It's
like,
yeah.
I was trying to see if there's something I can do to heal Watson, but I think that's just during rests, right? And or the med spell. I don't think. Okay,
Yeah.
well, he's just gonna do his little strike and then move.
Cool.
from a distance. 30, yeah. So he doesn't need to get within range.
Yeah. Yeah. If you even you can even if you even want to say like he's flown just high up, even like so he doesn't have to move on the squares, but he can still be further away from that dude.
He's 30. It's a 30-foot range, so however high up you can be for that.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's
unfortunately
fine.
off into the dirt around Doral, who is up now. You can still feel a little bit of acid kind of singeing, dissipating off your forearm.
As a reaction to my skin and my right forearm getting burnt, I shake it off, and at the same time some rock coalesces around it and it turns into the rock fist.
Nice.
That's going to be my bonus action, and then I'm going to spend my action on an alarm strike.
Okay.
Oh, an 11 to hit. Misses.
Unfortunately, a miss.
That
Yeah.
is
Just this thing kind of just manages to sidestep, and the rock fist slams into into a piece of debris and just shatters it, but you miss him.
He shouts out,
Yeah. Andy, this thing is still there. Doral has just missed this thing, just spewed acid. All over you guys.
I've rolled off the wall in an attempt to miss the acid, but still taken some damage. So I'm going to come up and I am going to shoot an arrow at this monster. Screw holding off. So, is Dural within 5 foot of it? So I get sneak attack. Let me just check. I do have crossbow bolts. I do have arrows. So I'll do a crossbow. That's a 13 to hit.
Its AC is 14.
So it flies by. No hit.
Unfortunately. Okay, actually, let me.
And probably from the cat on my shoulder going like, how could you have possibly missed that shot? That wasn't even that hard to miss.
Petrie, does a 13 hit you? I think your AC's...
No, it doesn't.
Good, because you also, you get like... Oh, hang on, sorry, I'm on the wrong thing. So just from... like the rocks around you, it's almost looks like a little rock pool, with the rubble and like the little bit of swamp water. It seems to bubble around you, and it's like it coils in, almost like it's trying to wrap itself around you. It just like water goes like it's going to try and twist you up, but you managed to hop from things. So the water has just like attacked you, tried to grab you, but it missed. Yeah, and then it's Thana's turn.
So Thana is going to cast Bless at level 3.
Oh.
On Andy, Tree, Daryl, and themselves.
Yeah, you get everyone that you get 3 for first level, right? So you should be able to get 5.
Yeah, I get 2 additional by level 3.
Nice. So everyone's got it, right?
Yep, everybody gets it.
Nice.
So we'll make sure to roll your d4s when it happens.
Okay. We might need them now after this round. So
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Good.
Everyone's
good shout.
blessed, is it? Or was it healing?
Everyone's
Everybody's
blessed.
Cool.
Well, this thing doesn't currently have indigestion because its acid thing didn't recharge. So.
That's good.
Its great club just again like completely whiffs. That is a 19 to hit with the claw, which is 8, 10. That's 6 slashing and 6 poison, but 3. You know, as
Cool.
again the claw comes up and just like it just completely
Oh,
misses.
I'm
You duck.
resistant to slashing at the moment, so I should have halved that
You
as
are.
well.
So yeah. So what did I say? So you take 6 total, right? You took 6 slashing, 6
So
poison, both of which are halved.
Yeah,
So
I
you just
healed
take
by
6.
3 because I took 9. Cool.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, so it's like it just completely misses. You duck, and then it kind of catches you on the up hand, but you turn into it, and it kind of just goes up along your forearm, and you bite back the pain. You shrug off the poisons. It tries to kind of seep into you. It tries to 5, 10,
Yeah, I'll spend my reaction to
20,
opportunity attack it.
30. Yeah, because it actually has it has reach, but it's just normally it's like you're already in melee with it, so it doesn't really factor in. So yeah, it's moving away.
Okay.
Swing AC 14.
Sweet. A 23.
Nice. Yeah, that's a hit.
And that is a total of 10 damage.
Oh, nice.
Don't know why it's rolling 2d6 there. That's weird.
No. Oh, I think it's a d6 plus the strength. I think it's 6 plus 4.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
it's you can look
weird.
at the breakdown. Yeah. So as it's going away, you see it like trying to get a bit more of an advantageous position, and as it's stepping back, you recovering from that, you swing back up with the rock fist and manage to just take it, and you hear it's something in its kneecap kind of splinter as takes a blow as it's going back on the back foot, and it is now Pouches.
Dun dun dun. I'm gonna step back into this gap here and see what I can do. You know what? How does it look? Is it looking rough?
It doesn't it looks pretty healthy, but if you give me an insight check.
$18.
18. It's taken a hit. It's not anywhere. It doesn't look like it's anywhere near to dying. It's backing up. It's maybe starting to feel a bit outnumbered, but it doesn't look like it's necessarily ready to turn tail and run. It looks a bit damaged, but not too much.
I'm gonna give it another round of Scorching Ray then.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
25.
Yeah, got 1 hit.
21.
2.
10.
And that one will miss, but you got 2 hits.
11. Because I am blessed.
But AC 14.
Yeah, no. That's why I rolled the
Yeah.
So maybe I get it.
Good. You got a 25% chance to hit. Yeah. So that's okay. What's that? 17
points of fire damage.
No, 17, isn't it? 6 and 11.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I read 4 and 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 17.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah. So again, and then you see another few of these sail past as Pouches brings kind of fire into his hand, into a little ball, and then it shoots out in a lance. One goes wide as it's backing away, but another 2 kind of slam simultaneously into its rib cage, and you hear that sizzle and smell that smoky flesh. now it's Patrie. Oh well, Poucher. Sorry, are you moving back
good.
back away or
No,
anything?
no, I've moved up to where I want to stay.
Cool. So sorry, Patrie. Good turn.
Sorry, my dog's losing her shit.
It's all good.
Where did
You need
little
to step away or anything?
Oh, all good.
Cool.
Where's Watson? Why can't I see Watson?
He is. Oh, he's on the same square as Pouches. He's just tucked behind.
Oh, there. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do inflict wounds again, but I'll use my spell slot for it this time instead of the rest
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And
He's got to get.
Yeah, and then
5, 10,
I'll cast it and hold it, and then he goes 25. He goes 30.
Yeah.
His flying speed, and then bonus action make me go, and then his reaction. There.
Cool. Is Patrie gonna move as well?
Yeah.
He can move 3 squares.
Yeah. 3.
Again, Watson flies up this again. That inflict wounds, that kind of symbiote, like almost ichor, kind of spills out and like he sends a little bubble that thing's way that it pops and kind of like splashes onto the mutant's face. Again, you can see it start to like sizzle and kind of just decay its face and its jaw. It eats all the flesh away from its jaw, so now it's just this exposed bone, and you can see it's kind of spiky in places and misshapen. It's been mutated and it's like it's howling. There's blood and this ichor and pus running out of its mouth, and its tongue is then starting to like boil up and rot as well, and it is looking pretty rough. That this like corruption from the inflict wounds is starting to spread. So that was Patrie and Doral. This thing.
Well, I guess he can still take an action, right? So that was the reaction and my bonus to cast my spell. He can still do his action, right? If I don't take a dash command.
I think so.
Yeah, because then it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll do his force strike. Maybe.
It'll be disadvantaged because you're within 5 feet.
Okay. And I'll roll it again.
Just throw another one in.
Yeah, 12.
Fortunately, it does. It misses at just it's difficult to kind of get a good shot off. But this thing is kind of trying to swat at Watson. But then it will be Doral, and this thing is now looking pretty rough. It's burned. It's still smoking. It's like its face, its jaw has like all the flesh has rotted off. It's starting to. Its jaw is kind of hanging on. You can see where some of the sinews keeping it attached are starting to snap from the decay.
All right. So I'll run 5, 10, 15 to here, and then I will jump, faking like a high knee, but instead I'll jump off my back foot and do a sort of Superman punch against this guy, attempting to actually reach his jaw.
Go for
it. So first one, it's a natural 20 for a total of 14 damage.
Yeah, and Doral, like you do this kind of hop, you fake and then leaps up, and it's probably something you'll be hearing in your dreams and your nightmares for a while. There's just this sickening crunch, and the bone is way softer than you were thinking. It started to rot, and there's this like wet crunch, and you drive your fist forward. The flesh just all around just like starts to buckle. You feel the bone crack as its skull blows apart, and then you feel something wet as its brain just like comes flying out the top of its head. You just like rock'em sock'em robot this thing, and its head like explodes, and the brain just comes flying separate from the body as it collapses in a heap of useless mutated flesh.
As I land on the ground, you notice a hematoma on the top right of his right eye, and it's sort of taken over and swole close, and is like beginning to creep up the forehead and grow bigger. And he just raises one arm, exhausted.
I'm just gonna be like, Doral, you really blew his mind.
From the wall at the very back, you'll hear "woo!"
Boo! Pouches is getting a default bane for that one. Yeah. Yeah. So technically, Andy, it is your turn. There is still something in the water, and Patri is not out of the water yet. He's not out of the woods yet. The swamp. So we'll stick with initiative order just briefly.
That, like, Andy at this point, having seen this dude who was the obvious, or the monster that was the obvious target, go up in mulch. And Andy's sitting on the wall, wondering again why we're here, and petting Ember an awful lot. Just so Andy is basically doing nothing this turn. She's just petting Ember.
Well, there doesn't appear to be a visible threat to be.
Yeah,
fair.
exactly. So she's like, "Oh, hey, it's okay. Don't worry. I know you got wet. It's okay."
Yeah. So.
So that's Andy in the turn order.
Oh damn it. Patri, yeah, assuming Patri is going to move out. Cause this thing missed again. So it's Thana. You're up. I mean, assuming Patri is gonna like move out of the water, there won't be any threat because this thing can't leave the water.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's much point in me making, let's go through like another couple turns of combat until Patri comes around. So Patri, if you just move like, I'm just gonna move Patri like, if say, dash out of the water 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Say get to there, and we will drop out of combat and the turn order. Actually, let me just delete this because I'll forget to do it at the start of the next one. And I think then, just as we end things there, why don't we take a quick break? What do you think? Yeah.
Break.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Cloaks of Mindhound. We are back in the swamp. And you have you're out of immediate danger. Anyway, let's say that. And
We're totally safe.
Andy has her eye on what is it? A chest that
chest
she spotted
underwater.
About 20
I'm
feet
gonna go look
in
at
the
that
water.
too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How deep
also-
in the water is it?
But 20 feet. In the.
Wait, I'm gonna cast Mage Hand, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
give it a rope, and I'm gonna send it down there.
Yeah. So sorry as well. In this tree, it was too high up for him to reach, but the guy that was died, said that there was some kind of bits and pieces of survival gear that the fellows would leave up there for as they're trekking back and forth. Some basic supplies, but there might be some useful stuff in there.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to
show
send
me the
chest
money.
Oh, we also
it's
have
in
that
the chest.
the tea that just remember from the previous one. There was teas if people want to try brew that, and I know it's only worth 1 hit point. But it's another little extra bit of healing. I don't know what people want to do. So
yeah, I'm gonna Santa's gonna probably go up the tree.
Yeah. So pouches, you can. I assume, Andy. You're pointing out where this thing is.
I like to
scored
think
2
that
initially.
basically Andy was about to hand Ember
did
to
you?
Pouches and be like, "Hold my cat while I dive down," and then Kyle or Pouches was like, "No, wait, hold my beer."
I got this.
And he was like, "I got this" with the mage hand.
Just imagining Andy with 2 cats hanging off her her ears and just hold my cats.
Hold my cats.
Yeah. So what are you're sending the mage hand down with the rope and tying it around the thing, is it?
Yeah, in essence.
Yeah, that's cool.
If it's got a handle on the side, I'll just tie it to the handle.
Yeah, it has like two. It's small, but it's like a little kind of like little war chest kind of
Yeah, so I'll just like tie it to the hand on the side and just give it a
Yeah,
pull.
it will be strength checkers as you kind of feel around the mage hand. It's on like a little embankment and it is like stuck in mud. But
I assume
the
since
rope
it's
is
mage
secured.
hand that I can't add strength
No,
to
no,
that.
this is me pulling it out.
He tied a rope to it, so you can
Oh,
both.
okay,
Yeah,
so
you
the,
can
the
help.
rope, the two
You
of
can
us
help him if you want. Yeah, so
Yeah, so
one of you make the check with advantage.
my
whoever's stronger.
strength is
Andy.
16.
Andy can make the check.
Yeah, she's got.
Yeah,
Andy's
mine's
got
9.
+3 modifier on strength.
Yeah.
I've got a minus
I'll
1.
do that. 14.
And I think you're blessed still as well.
Oh, and I'm blessed. Yes, I'm going to use a bless on that.
Yeah, that will wear off soon. It's a minute, right? I think, isn't it? But
Yeah.
we've
It's a
just
minute.
exited combat, so yeah.
So that is a 16 strength.
That will do it. You hear the kind of there's resistance at first, and then bubbles. Things are disturbed. You see some weird-looking fish like swim away in different directions. The algae on top of the water is disturbed, and it kind of breaks off like Pangea, breaking apart. And you pull up this a little chest like this, about yay big, with handles on it. Yeah, and
So Andy's going to crack that chest open and be like, "This better be bloody well worth it."
it's padlocked.
I'll pick that lock.
Yeah, go for it. So just give me like a dexterity. Well, maybe roll a dex save because that will include your proficiency bonus. It would be the same as like a dex
Okay,
check.
let me stick it to normal.
Just-
24.
Yeah, you just it's heavy, but it's pretty basic against picking it. It would be very difficult to break this thing off, but the tool goes in and one little twist, and you open and give me 1 minute here. Okay. Actually, you know what is better?
All the monies of the land shall fall on us.
Yeah. Actually, no, bear with me 1 second. Actually, instead of dice, I'm actually just gonna.
It's gonna be like 5 magic beans, isn't it?
I'm gonna just roll it. Instead of counting up, I'm gonna just roll it like on a somewhere digitally. Sorry, because it's instead of me like trying to roll the dice and so. Okay. Okay, there is. So it'll take a minute. It'll take a little while to come, but assuming you're stopping here. Long story short, in a combination of gold and silver. So there is 100. Oh, hang on. What's there's 152 gold worth in this chest.
152 gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
If Andy looks at pouches, does pouches look like he's interested in the gold?
Yes.
Oh damn.
I mean, who's not interested in 100? Who's not interested in a big treasure chest full of gold?
Fails. Okay. So she's not gonna try and hide this.
Well, it would be very difficult. So, as this has been pulled out and Andy unlocks the thing, Thana, you said you were going to check the tree?
Yep.
Cool. So, this guy had said he couldn't get it himself because it's too high. Basically, somebody's going to need to give you a boost. I mean, unless you want to try climb the tree. But it's not too high up. It just would require either climbing it or getting a boost because it's up on a branch.
I'll try climbing it,
Sure thing.
and I'd probably use my sickle as well.
Yeah, Gemini. Sorry, I just moved Tharn over here because actually, as you do move over, it's not strictly relevant now, but you can actually see that around the outside of the runes, you can pass through these trees. They looked quite thick, but there's something of a little path skirting around.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, just if you give me an athletics check, shouldn't be too difficult.
Okay. 8.
I know, but it's still fine. I mean, you have time. It's not it's not some crazy tall tree.
Mm-hmm.
You get up there, and yeah. So let me see. Where did I? Yeah. So they stashed some supplies. Long story short, I'm just gonna pop it in. Oh, 2 seconds. I'll pop it into the Roll20 chat and into Discord. But it's basically there's 4 explorers kits, the starting pack. So we go through. There's a bunch of stuff in there rope and rations, torches, things like that. There are 6 flasks of oil. There's 12 arrows, 8 crossbow bolts, 2 small knives, just not full on daggers, 2 small knives, and there is a healer's kit which has 10 uses in it, which can be used. If you a use of a healer's kit, for anyone who doesn't know, is just basically you can stabilize somebody without having to make the medicine check, without having to do the DC medicine. So it's you just use one of the 10 uses of a healer's kit and they're stable. You patch them up. And there's a special feat that you can get which lets you actually heal hit points with healer's kits, but that's a whole other thing. Yeah, so there's a lot of these kind of survival supplies in here.
Begrudgingly, because Pouches is there, Andy will have divided the gold they found essentially into 5 piles of 30 gold pieces per person. And 1 extra for... Well, because Pouches is standing right there, I suppose he'll get 1 gold extra and I'll get 1 gold extra, but I think it's probably pretty evident to Pouches that she's she's quite begrudgingly piling these 5 piles.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, sorry. Actually, there wasn't any silver. It is all in gold. They had changed it all into gold. So yeah. So everyone, you've got 30 gold pieces, and Pouches and Andy have 31.
31.
Patrice's really only interested in cool.
Yeah. And you hear, from over the water.
Having gotten my gold, I'm gonna go sit against the wall and just take a chill out for an hour.
Yeah, I'd like a short rest too.
I shout, "Somebody get the bloody dog!" And you look over, and he's actually started making a fire, and he summoned a small piece of rock that is a nice sort of lean-to. He's leaning against.
But Daryl, I've got your gold here. And Andy's kind of holding Daryl's gold at a distance, calling out to him that he has gold here.
You keep it.
Score!
Ooh. Don't want your gold, you can at least give it to me.
No! He said it was mine.
As you two are bickering, and Doral is making a fire and everything. I suppose what's Doral what's your passive perception, Doral?
Yeah, 11.
Yeah, it's fine. So, and Watson, you all, Andy is if obviously Andy and Thana, I don't know if you've moved back sort of into the ruins, but from the bushes over here, Doral, you see something like sort of pokes its head out of the bushes, and it give me a perception check. And Watson can make one as well.
Watson? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Pat, I suppose anyone who looks in that direction can make one.
I'm gonna say Andy's like busy pocketing her gold.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm
think
more
so.
focused on flint and steel and lighting the fire.
16.
Yeah, Pat. At a distance, it's quite small. Like it's
Yeah, I'm
tiny.
just sitting here by the fire.
Yeah, like it's tiny. But it looks like, and yeah, Patri, you notice as well. It looks like the thing that was inside that little pixie dust vial, if it wasn't like mummified and desiccated. It is like this little insect person with these like wings, and it's presumably a living pixie.
Does it look hostile to us?
It is kind of like poking out of the thing in it, and you see that it flits over here gingerly where the corpse of the big mutant was, and it sort of like flits and quickly and kind of like pokes it, and then like whoop, and then sees that it's dead.
I'm just gonna be like, hey little friend, that guy is very dead.
I mean,
Won't be
Watson's
bothering you
like
anymore.
buzzing about. Just scoping this out. Watson's all about this.
Yeah, Watson's like, yeah, it's like two dogs meet each other, and they're like, like, so, these two little winged little critters, these two magical little dudes. Just bear with me 1 second. Yeah, they start sort of. It's interested with, Watson, and it's kind of fearful. It's kind of circling, sort of circling each other. It's looking, and then it like to Watson. It's not sure if it's thinking. It's kind of looking at Doral because it saw Doral, like kind of blow this thing's brain out of its skull, and it's like it flits up to your eye line, and it looks kind of, it's very Pan's Labyrinth pixie. It's this insectoid kind of little thing. A little humanoid dragonfly, almost, with sharp teeth, and it's kind of just out of nowhere. It kind of like, almost like it weaves it from gossamer. It pulls out a little, like a wooden charm, and it's got bone on it and bits of chitin, or chitinous material. And what did I do? It has the image of a very anatomically correct heart on it, just like a little wooden kind of coin almost, and it like.
Dural just sort of freaks out initially as it flies towards him. He was completely bemused. He was focusing on the fire, and he just sort of like freaks out and waves his hands around his head,
it, like
spits a lot.
Yeah, it's like just kind of like zips back. Does anybody speak Sylvan?
I think I do.
No, I think Andy, who's moved up towards Dural at this point, is just watching Dural be a menace and a lunatic, and possibly holding Ember in her arms. And I don't know, will Ember try to swipe at this thing, or will Ember be just like, also, what the hell is he doing?
I speak Sylvan.
Do anybody else?
I think I speak Sylvan.
I think you might do. I'm trying to remember. You do?
Yeah, I do.
I'm just going to double check. Does Patri possibly?
It doesn't say on my end.
Mm,
Oh, but then again, we used a
Elven in
different.
there.
We used the.
Yeah, no, I think it was because you would have. But him knowing Gnomish makes sense for him, I think, anyway, because like all the artifice stuff. So, Thana and Pouches. This thing says it's Sylvan's a little more it's almost like contextual, or it's not like such a hard and fast language. It's basically saying gift, thank you, gift, or like in thanks, basically,
Sana is
I'll hold my hand out to it and say, thank you.
and Sana is just going to explain to Daryl what was being said so he can calm down.
Yeah. It's like kind of like it's not sure, and then it sees like all this score. It was kind of watching what had been going on, and it flies over towards Pouches, and it just kind of drops the little thing into your hand.
I'll say, what is your name, friend?
You touch it. It's just it's a piece of wood. It's a little wooden disc, but when you're holding it, you can feel it. You can feel it beating.
Andy is like elbowing Durrell, going like, "It's giving us something. It's giving us something." Once Thana has said gift and translated for us, I'm like, "Oh, it's giving us something."
Yeah. Did you? Sorry, you said what's its name?
Yes, I said, what is your name, little friend?
It says his name is. No, is it? Well, it's their name is due on the. What did I say? Hang on. His name is. Yeah. Dew on the winter grass beneath the silver sun.
Dew on the winter grass beneath the silver sun.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that long in Sylvan. It's like, it sounds like John, whatever.
Sana is going to remark that it's such a lovely name.
And it says again, oh yes, it says thanks. Thanks to you. What are your names?
I'll go around and just point and introduce everyone to this little creature.
It said it's like, well, these basically these creatures were this land has long been poisoned since long ago, and these creatures would terrorize me and my kin. There are a few of us left in these parts, but this tree is mine, and I intended to keep it that way.
Well, I'm very glad you got what was yours.
And it hears the dog starts, or the wolfhound across the Mr. Wibbles, I think, right?
Mr. Wibbles.
The dog starts barking, and it turns its head, and it's like, it says it's like, the beast not from around here, not. She said, "Is this your friend of yours?"
He's like our pet. Kind of like that one, and I point to Durrell.
There is no word for
Durrell's my name.
It doesn't.
Durrell.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you have to kind of word it strangely. There's not a direct one-to-one parallel for pet in Sylvan. In the same way that would mean it, but you say something like animal companion, or and it's like and it flies over, and then the wolfhound is like ground and kind of like snapping at it, but it spins and it beats its wings, and it kind of does that thing like certain insect. I think moths do it, right? But there's like kind of scales. That kind of like some insects like kind of can produce this sort of
like the dust.
Dust, yeah, like the dust basically.
Is dog about to have a Peter Pan moment?
Yeah, it's like and it basically just like carries the dog. It like floats him over the water, and like lands him right there. And the dog is like freaking out. and like snapping at the air, and it flies away, and it's like it's like back long tooth, you know. I can take, you know. And he says, he's like, well, he says, yes, I would not go in the water. It's poisoned. The water is angry. It is hostile.
Hostile.
Mm.
Does the water have another form?
Which is something in the water. And she explains in Medigan, it's a poison weird, like a water weird, but it's just a thing that's made out of pure water, so it's invisible in the water. Because it is just made of water, so it's like, but it's this big elemental, but it's like a poisoned, like swamp water elemental that has to do with the swamp was cursed.
Oh, so on hearing that, Thana is going to cast Detect Poison and Disease.
Very good. Yeah, I think actually, for as long as that's up, like I'll just like it was here. Can you see? It's over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's just this, like, you know, if you were to see it, if it were to emerge from the water fully into the open air, you know, you would see this sort of serpentine elemental. It's quite big, like it's huge sized. Obviously, things look, you know, on a map this size, and again, this fantastic map by It's a Map, very talented Kate. But yeah, it's a huge sized creature.
Is it glowing like the acid that's in what's in Watson?
Yeah, but yeah, like Thana, you can see this thing coiling like beneath the water. It's sort of waiting at the water's edge, waiting for someone to wade back in.
Thana is going to like just kind of cross their legs and just sink into her feet while looking at this creature, trying to figure out what can be done to help it, if it's possible.
Yeah, sure. Give me 1 second.
Like I assume the
me an
non-magically
Arcana check.
inclined of us don't see this creature.
I think only Thana sees it.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, great. So, Arcana check.
Yeah. Oh.
I think so.
Unfortunately, that would pen you. There is nothing to be done for this entity because it is its purpose is to be. It's a poison elemental. It's more just an extension or a manifestation of the cursed swamp. So yeah, it's doing what it wants to do. It's doing what it was manifested to do by the elemental planes, which is try and drown and poison people. You know,
Yeah.
Spread the poison.
I'm going to relay this information to the others, just so they're aware that
And the pixie, it does assure you though that it cannot leave the water. So
how are we
you're
supposed to
safe.
get back out of here?
She says, well, she says, are you, well, she's like, I would suggest, are you returning now? What did you come here for? Are you lost? Says, I can fly you back across.
We're here to get
One
rid
by
of
one.
the man who lives over there.
The dead one.
The dead one.
Ooh, a dead one?
Dead one?
She
Dead
says
one.
The dead, which is which one? It's the dead one and she's it doesn't really seem to make as much distinction between is like man, it's sort of human or like human or sort of a general term for a non-fey. It's like the dead one, is it, or the laughing one, the cold one, the hairy one, or the one who's 3?
Oh.
There are others. She said, I've seen others, but they were the
I'll
worst.
probably be getting rid of all of them.
Mm-hmm. Would any of this kind of ring a bell to Thana?
Not necessarily. It sounds creepy as shit. But not
But in a familiar way, no.
no, yeah, exactly. Not specifically. Something about, you have no idea why, you can't explain it, but something about when it said the one who is 3, it's like, it's not deja vu, but it's sort of like kind of resonates on some level that you don't understand.
Okay.
Sounds sort of like something that just sort of pings your attention.
Right. Thana's probably not going
And
to
obviously
mention
the
this.
dead one for a grave cleric sounds
Enticing.
Enticing, yeah. Yeah, it might be somebody you want to meet, or it could be somebody that you want to, spare from
Dissect.
their exactly, that that don't like undead things. It's unnatural,
Mhm.
smite them things.
Are you translating all this?
I presume Pouches and Thana relaying everything that
Yeah.
do.
I say
Yeah.
maybe it's a description of these fearsome fellows, this bandit group we're going after. Maybe it's them.
Well,
Oh.
one of them was described as, what was his name again?
The
Belloc
fearless,
the Deathless.
deathless.
There we go.
Okay.
It's not scary at all.
Mm.
Something with 3 though?
I know.
Maybe triplets?
Mm. She
Maybe.
says. She says. It says yes, in one.
Someone who
One
can
body.
cast mirror image. I've heard of that
Mm.
spell. Adventurers using it.
Mm.
Yeah.
I can only see one, but I felt 3.
Oh. Okay.
Mm.
You still feel 2?
Mm. Says, well, she says one is big. She's like big, hairy, like a she bear. One is smaller, kind of pointing at Petrie, like this one. He said, but he smiles and laughs, but never with his own mouth. And said, there's the one who was 3. Said the ashen one, and the other cold elf. Mm-hmm.
Like-
I sense unnatural things in her heart.
Okay, I wasn't hired. I didn't volunteer. Like, I don't have a choice. But I was here to fight shit monsters and bandits. Like, not a 3-in-1 ghoul, elf, dead type bear thing. Like, what? And this is to the rest of the group, I suppose, less to the little sprite thing. It's like,
The little insect thing, it's like,
Tree says, he's like, I agree, I'm far too pretty for this.
and it says it would be safer to turn around.
yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Every single time I fought an enemy, I thought I wouldn't be able to do it, and yet I stand here now.
Somehow.
We can do it.
And the pixie says, It basically says this one truly is a dwarf. It's not quite like mocking, but it's kind of like, what a dwarf thing
To say.
from a Fey perspective, like.
Do you guys not think this isn't exactly like brown cloak stuff? This is like, I don't even know, fucking magic weird shit cloak stuff.
First day was fighting a shit
Ember
monster.
starts purring against your leg.
Shit monster. Literal shite monster.
Yeah, that's brown cloak stuff. But this crap we're in the middle of, this is not brown cloak stuff. This is I don't even know. Like fucking Navani fecked off. This was her kind of stuff. Pouches. Andy throws a look at Pouches because Pouches is like connected to Navani, and she's like, Andy's, I think, having a minor little meltdown at the moment, and Ember rubbing up against her and purring is barely making a dint in her little like.
Yeah, Ember stops and kind of like. Ember walks over to Doral.
Traitor.
Does a couple of laps of Doral.
Just sort of watches it do circle. I do mean what I say. I didn't think I could beat a ship monster. I didn't think I could beat ghosts. I didn't think I could beat spiders that come from the ceiling. The list goes on, but I'm still here.
Dendarian the Dread.
I don't either.
Amazing what you can punch, Doral.
You might not die though.
If you do, there's a grave cleric. We'll make sure you pass on well.
I'll give you the best ceremony you'll ever have in your death.
You just get this dead speaking stare from Andy through her bangs. Just her one eye stares.
Sana is going to be completely clueless, thinking that what she said was the right thing to say and really reassuring. And they're just going to stand there smiling as in, I promise, it'll be amazing. There'll be candles and everything.
I'm being so reassuring right now.
At this point, Andy's just gonna like do that typical strop thing where she just goes, "Nah," and she goes over and she sits down, and she sits down in a really loud way. That kind of like, everybody knows she's sitting down, and she's just like,
Ember comes back to Andy.
I'm into my lap.
Could Sana just kind of like sidle over and give Andy some food and then scuttle away to go poke at the big one's brains?
Angry.
Here, have a snack.
Yeah, Andy will totally eat the snack, in fairness.
Food. Universal language.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
And so through the chewing of the rations or whatever food you've given her, Thana, Andy's eventually just gonna like look up and go like, so what now then?
We're going to go and meet these multiple named ones, and like Doral said, come back.
See, and you're muted, Kyle.
Said, have I managed to finish a short rest in this time yet?
You got it's not been an hour, but there is actually something before we do the short rest. I'll just get back to that in 1 second. The pixie dude does say, it says this one, pointing at Andy, says, does speak some sense. There are 5 of you and 5 of them, and many more than that that they command. Though you survived the abominations.
And are they like the ones that they command?
She says it's possible they command them. I've never seen the abominations attack them.
Okay. But either way, we'll need to get some information.
But she says no. She says they command your kind. The like non-fate, like humans, elves, like humanoids. More, more soldiers, basically.
Well, if this
Says they have an army, not an army, but like,
We have a Doral.
We got fists. We're good.
if they command ones like us, then they probably have some weakness. The only way we can find out is to find out.
Says,
Yeah,
the
but-
many that they have are much weaker than you, but the 5, they are formidable. Though I admit I know little of warfare.
But if we do this, none of you are going to die in your beds. I mean, none of us are going to die in our beds. And then Auntie shuts up again.
Why would you want to die in a bed?
'Cause it's comfy. Why would I want to die in the fucking swamp?
Because you become one with nature?
Whoa, guys! No one's dying. Let's stop talking about dying here.
Death is a part
She's
of
pretty
life.
excited. Giddy.
Watson like is like hovering over Patricia. Patricia's like, "There's no one's dying. Let's not talk about dying." And Watson is like, his little wings is like, yeah.
Mending spell. I don't know what to do to fix them.
Yeah.
Screw
Oh
it.
no, he's basically being like, yeah, go on, listen, like he's trying to be encouraging. And the dog, he's just here like, and the dog has eaten like a clump of grass, and it's like just like throwing up grass.
Oh.
I don't want to die.
What happens if I put a healing potion into?
I don't think it does anything. I think it's now in light of the fact that you have Watson, I'm okay if in between sessions, if you want to say replace one of your cantrips, which I think I think you might actually be able to. I know wizards with the optional class features in Ashes, I know they can replace a cantrip, I think, on like a long rest or something, is it? Or is that on a level up?
I don't want to short
Look and
rest.
see what kind of
On a long race.
Yeah, just because fair enough. Like if you've got a little, you took a homunculus and you need mending in order to heal it. I think there's things we might have just blanked on. So I'm fine with you retconning that.
It could use its hit dice just like anyone else.
It can, yeah. I think as far as I'm aware, it can, yeah.
I mean, it has. Yeah.
While so after petulantly sitting down, but while this conversation is going on as to what to do next, can Andy start kind of like rummaging around the easily accessible parts of the ruin to see if there's anything to
You can.
loot?
Give me an investigation check. But the thing that it's basically the thing that the pixie handed you is it's not a pixie in like monster manual terms. It's there was those things in I based it off of in 5e. There's the Chewinga. There's all different ones, like a desert one, a tundra one, but they're basically like little magical like nature spirits, and they can give you charms. So it just gives you like this little charm that you can use. So if somebody uses it, it will vanish. It's a single use, but for the next 24 hours, basically whenever you spend hit die, you regain the maximum number of hit points. And then any creatures that spend hit dice as part of a short rest, like within 20 feet of you, they can re-roll one hit die during that rest. So you'll all have like a bit of better healing from a short rest. So just as in before you like run through it. Sorry, Kyle, you're muted.
I'm
They
gonna
have
go
to
with
use it now. Like, is
No,
it like
you-
automatically triggered?
No. You choose to consume it. You choose to like use the magic in the charm, and then whoever used it for the next 24 hours, the person who used the charm, they automatically get max healing from any hit die they spend, and then basically the rest of you, as long as you're not like miles apart, as long as you are like, oh, you're all resting like roughly, within, we're in close proximity to one another, you will get to re-roll hit die per short rest. So like for 24 hours, your short rests are going to be, you're going to get more kind of hit points out of it on average.
Cool.
Awesome. Oh my
I'm
god.
not using it. I'm just like oop, in my pocket.
Yeah, so I don't know who's got like Andy's got quite a few, but also it'll last for 24 hours, so I suppose whoever's likely to like take a bit of a beating.
be honest, that's it's not something Andy's gonna look at and go like, ooh, she's more about the gold and the gems. So that'll probably be Pouches or Thana, I think, who pocket that one.
Yeah.
Pouches by the sounds of it.
It's got in my pocket already, in a pouch.
It's a single use thing anyway, so I don't know if you're using it like starting now, but it will last for 24 hours. But I don't know if you're doing it before this short rest.
Oh, I was asking that. So it doesn't last indefinitely.
No, it lasts for 24 hours. It's like
Okay.
I still
that
have the little jar with the weird pixie
you do the
dust
pixie
thingy that turns into a desiccated pixie when you don't shake it.
Yeah.
Which is never going to happen because it's going to be shaken constantly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give the token to Andy. I feel like she needs to heal here.
We're going to do a rest, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So it'll allow you to, whatever you would roll, you rolled maximum on your healing now. On your short rest.
Well, are we going to short rest or long rest here?
How far are we from their camp?
Hit
We're
points, you're like-
pretty deep in the swamp at this point, aren't we?
yeah.
We're
No, what I mean is the
really in
bad
there.
guy camp. Like, I feel like it's like just over there. Like,
It's not far. If there wasn't such dense foliage, you could see it in the distance.
It's
yeah, I think we're
Probably
short
best to-
resting, not long resting.
Well, why don't we climb into
Like,
the tree where all the
it's-
guys had
yeah.
all their stuff
Mhm.
and
Basically-
take a long rest?
Yeah, it's not going to be like there's this place and then the next map. It's not like this map and the map with their like stronghold.
Mhm.
They're not like touching. It's not like, oh, this one ends and that one's good. There's like a little bit of just basic. You're gonna just traverse a little bit of swamp and get to the edge of the stronghold.
Why don't we
Yeah.
climb the supply tree and like
That sounds like a good idea.
take a few hours in the supply tree?
Yeah.
I agree.
So take a long rest basically up in the supply tree.
But Pixie says
got
it
a
can
point.
she says it can she says I can't I can't hide you in the tree like I do, but I can and she's like or they rather, sorry. Sort of like flit over to like a couple of you and say, Doral is there, and it like casts basically Liamon's tiny hut, except it's kind of invisible. The air is sort of rippling it. It's making it look like nature kind of bends around you,
Mhm.
and it like makes a little like you can't be seen from a distance. Like if you got up close, it might look a little wonky, but it kind of creates foliage, and the tree kind of twists and the shrubs kind of bend around and obscure you.
Cool.
And
I
then
go
it
into the
like,
hut
vanishes
and
it.
go pass out.
If backwards is through the water with the weird, you said serpenty typey thingy with the weirdness in the water and the poison.
Yes.
And forward is possibly these bad guys we have to fight. I, for one, want to sleep.
Yeah,
And there's a very petulant air to Andy. She's like,
yeah.
why are we even here? I want to sleep. I want to be in a bed. I don't want to be in a
Pouch is very like,
Yeah, it's only doing it like in this tree because it has made this tree in particular its home, so it's able to sort of create a wider canopy of cloaking around this one. So it's like you can like long rest like in and around here, in and around that bush.
Very much like would like to stay.
Yeah.
He wants to see what info he can get, or like blood or I don't know, something cool from these guys. He's got to have some kind of creature or something.
Sana is going to start rooting through the bags to see how much rope they can gather, and they're going to try and weave nets, like pretty wide gap nets between the tree branches, kind of like hammocks for folks.
Oh yeah. I mean, there would be 50 foot of rope on each of the 4 like explorers packs. So there's 200 just new like extra rope that the gang just got, because I know people have rope.
Awesome.
So Pouches has already climbed the tree and gone to sleep. So I'm looking around the others. I'm like, we all take a watch, and then we can all sleep, and then we do whatever we have to do tomorrow.
Oh, the pixie says, "Oh well, I don't know if you trust me, but I do not hibernate as your kind do. I can watch the woods for."
Andy wants to
the
inside
others.
check that.
Go for it.
And how do I actually do an inside check? Normally somebody else does this for me.
It's just on the skills, isn't it?
Insight. Is the pixie being honest?
As far as you're concerned, yeah.
Or okay, Andy is a-okay with just going to sleep, so and letting the pixie watch.
Sana is going to ask the pixie if it's okay that she do her thing up in the tree.
It says, "Can it be undone?"
Oh yes, absolutely. I'll make sure of it.
It said, then says, "Very well, go and do your spider's trick." See. Yeah. And
So do we successfully get a long rest?
if you wanna get along, if you're all bedding down for a long rest.
Yeah, I
then-
try and build myself a nice little place to go to sleep using mold earth. Maybe I like scoop up some clay and bring it up there with me. Maybe it takes me a couple of trips.
Yeah.
I make myself a nice little bed up in the tree, and Durrell looks particularly exhausted. Everyone, he actually has a point of exhaustion at the moment because of his class features that he used.
Yeah, he really
Falls immediately.
left it all out there. The dog is like trying to sleep. It's like when a dog is trying to like stand up in a car, you know. And the wolfhound has like very like gangly legs. You know, it's quite a rangy dog. It's like, but it settles eventually. Like, with what it's like leg like going through one of the kind of like the netting. But it's it's just it falls asleep. If
yeah, Andy's gonna curl up with Ember on her chest and be sort of like, cuddled up for the couple of hours. I think she's well exhausted at this point.
Yeah, and just sort of everyone kind of. Or actually, hang on, I'm just kind of
We're all waiting for that moment where the DM is like, and in the middle of your rest,
Oh,
a giant comes and breaks your tree apart.
Mm-hmm.
3
No, no,
a.m.
no.
rule for perception.
no.
There we go.
Yeah, no. All of you up here. It's a very strange sleeping situation. But after that rather harrowing combat, you can't shake as you eventually just, though sleep is difficult, eventually the exhaustion just overcomes you and your body needs rest, and you eventually just slip into unconsciousness, though you go into that darkness with the sinking feeling that what's ahead of you is going to be much, much worse than what you just left behind. And we're going to end it there. You can long rest.
Yes!
Yes.
Long rest in the swamp. Woo!
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Man, so visual. I'm still stuck on the parting of the algae, the Pangea algae. Your visual
Pangalgi.
storytelling is phenomenal.
I should have called this episode Pangalgi.
Yeah, Pangea merges from the depths. Wow, so good.
So 2 weeks time, everyone, and I promise, once you all totally don't die going up against the, well, you might not, the 5 captains, or not the captains, the 5 lieutenants or commanders of the Fearless Fellows. Should you meet them and survive them, you will have really earned that 5th level.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And as a little bonus, hey, if you should you choose, if the doggy survives, everyone has something to look forward to. If the doggy survives, if you so choose, you can train him as a Cloaks, like as a hound, and he'll start getting sidekick levels. He'll
The
start
hound.
getting, and you'll
The
have your
hound
choice
of
of warrior or expert. So you can either turn him into like a little sneaky sort of like a scout little helper dog, or he can start getting, beefier attacks. Anyway,
The Brunhund.
Tree's emotional support animal.
yeah. Well, that works because if he goes the expert route, then he can do help as a bonus action. So there you go. Thanks very much, everybody, for tuning in and listening to me just ramble on there for a bit, because I can't keep my fucking mouth shut. And I was gonna wait until it was like, oh, the dog is gonna start getting trained, but I was excited. So we will see you in 2 weeks' time. Thanks for tuning in, and hope everyone has a good time zone wherever you are.
Have a good time.
Have a good time, though.
Hi, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.